So Ollie,
yes, Dave.
You're leaving in 2 weeks.
Thank God.
So this is your second to last show before you take a week break. So I think it's time to remind people of your replacement, Turtle Ollie. Hello, Ollie. Hey, your voice has changed, Turtle Ollie. I know. I've hit puberty since last time I was on the show.
You know, I remember a time when we weren't doing this show. It was a simpler time.
Yeah, it was. I was happier.
Me too, Dave.
So was I.
Hello and welcome to NPCs of Wildemount reviewing Critical Role 2, episode 33. And I didn't even have to look down at my page that time because I looked at it before we started recording.
Only took him 50 reviews of doing this show to realise. And your name is?
Oliver, Dungeon Master, and...
My name isn't Oliver.
This is true.
My name's Dave.
It's Dave.
Because I put the tags up.
Yeah, he was named after the gang from Rat Queens.
Nope. I was actually named after a king of Scotland.
Really?
Yeah, it's true.
My family heritage traces back to Wales, so we're practically brothers.
No, we're not.
Anyway, this is our recap and review.
It's like someone's Canadian-American, oh yeah, we're practically brothers. No,
pretty much.
No, they're not.
Canadian-American history, that's why it's called that, because it's the same history.
We do apologise for Americans and Canadians out there. Ollie is just an idiot.
This is true, I'm not ethnically biased.
Do you even know where Canada is?
Yes.
Or where?
It's a province of Saskatchewan.
It's the other way around. But anyway, we're here to review episode 33.
Dave, that's incorrect. We're here to try and review episode 33 and get wildly distracted by things like Canada.
Yeah, but I'm trying to get ourselves on track, Ollie, really.
I will note that this week I've got three...
I've got a new shirt too.
Yeah, that's the most important thing that we have to talk about, is his shirt. Yeah. Never mind that I've got a new shirt. No one cares about that.
What?
Do they?
Like, this is the third week in a row you've worn exactly the same shirt.
I quite like this shirt. So, this week, quite a lot happened. So, I've got 3 pages of notes, which is madness.
Yeah.
It was a very, backdrop, kind of lore drop
Big
episode.
lore drop. This was probably one of my favourite episodes.
Me too, 100% agree.
Are you okay? Just having a moment there.
No, that was like a bad time to make that noise.
Yeah, it was like we're agreeing. You're like, how dare you?
I was so excited. No, I was going to say, I can't wait till we get to the MVP, because I reckon you're going to have a different person in mind than I have for this.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
But we'll get to that.
Interesting.
So yeah, for those of you who haven't seen the show before, it's 2 nerds from Wellington talking about Critical Role.
Yeah, so we're going to review the episode the best way we possibly can.
Which is not that well.
Do apologise if we screw up anything, but you know, this is how we consume content.
Yeah.
Poorly.
It's how we create it.
So we're off to Nikka Dramas. After the last episode of big travelling episode.
To the Menagerie Coast.
Yes, but they decide to take a detour to the ocean because a lot of the players, or a lot of the characters, haven't seen the ocean before.
I feel like there's a lot going on in Nicodranas. Matt knows this, and he kind of wanted to give them a little bit of free and fun time before it hits.
Ollie, if he didn't know this, we'd be in trouble because he's a DM.
Yeah.
So
have you ever seen me DM?
I have.
Yeah.
Yeah. How's your sister going?
I have pages. I will murder you and hide your body in tofu. So I had pages and pages of notes that were actually just printout scripts from the show Darkness Rising.
I had to make the map.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
See, this is what I mean about getting wildly off topic. So essentially, they go swimming and do some various things. Not manages to kill a bunch of seagulls.
It doesn't go swimming.
It doesn't go swimming. That's correct.
Yeah, it's because Not makes some excuses not to go into the ocean.
I think Not didn't want to for various reasons. Maybe she's not comfortable being in swimwear, being a goblin, and the prejudice against that.
Or maybe a goblin is just really small and she's 8.
Yeah. So up until that point, things were going swimmingly. See what I did?
Yeah, I know, it was really bad. I just wanted everyone to appreciate how bad that was, so
anyway,
I gave you silence.
Not essentially kills a bunch of seagulls practicing her crossbow skills.
And a crab.
Yeah.
There's a crab involved.
I just wrote Not gets crabs.
God, Ollie. I mean, there's jokes and then there's what you're doing.
Yeah, so I feel like jokes is like being overdone, so I'm just trying to disturb people.
Oh, that's more overdone. That's like burnt and just like burnt. That's just bad. That's as bad as my analogy.
Have you ever had my cooking?
No.
So
stay tuned for our cooking episode next week.
Stop plugging things like constantly. They're already watching the channel.
I know.
So they're at the Restless Wharf. Bo kind of practices her monk skills by jumping from some rocks. Clay goes searching in the sand. And I wrote, I'm so hyped for summer because we're actually in the middle, like, we're just leaving winter here in New Zealand.
Yeah, it's just started spring.
Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to summer this year, so I wrote, I'm so hyped for summer.
They bond with animals as well, because we've got the animals are only at the end of it, so it has this moment, I really want a Red Bull now, screw you. They have the moments just to bond with the animals too. Yep. The owl has an official name, Professor Thaddeus.
Yep.
Which is an interesting name.
I'm actually really curious because at the end, I think, of the episode, or somewhere near the end, Matt mentions that the Blink dog is just a pup and really can't do too much in terms of combat yet. I'm curious as to see how quick Matt allows the puppy to grow up. Like, how long will it be?
I'll be surprised if it lasts a couple of episodes. Let's get through the first couple of episodes first. Until we start thinking about bonding with this animal, alright?
That's more
I'm not even calling it by its name yet.
Nugget.
No.
Yeah.
No, we cannot get attached.
Become attached.
We cannot get attached to Nugget.
Put your hands out, I will hold you on the bow of the Titanic.
If you ever touch me.
He doesn't like being touched.
I don't like being touched. It's just a weird thing.
So Jester teaches the dog, who shall not be named, how to blink on command, which is going to be useful later. Yeah. Rolls quite well.
It comes up at the end as well.
Yeah. And then Ford, well, he's in his element. He's at a beach, he's with the water, he summons his falchion. I was going to throw it at you.
Okay. I would think you give some indication when you throw things over.
I was actually too focusing.
It's like saying, and back to Ollie. It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, Ford goes swimming in and kind of scares Caleb and nearly basically drowns him.
Yeah, Caleb, he misty steps next to Caleb, who freaks out and starts swallowing seawater.
But they kind of just spend some time at the beach. I mean, nothing hugely significant happens, so they kind of, it's just a fun time to play around, you know?
Yeah, and remember, especially with, like, you know, comedians and stuff, like these guys kind of are, but not really, but kind of, in a way. It's fun to have these, like, little downtime, just little play moments.
What, they're comedians, but they're not?
They're not official comedians.
So what makes an official comedian?
Someone that, like, performs in stand-up comedy
So you're saying they don't perform... So only stand-up people are comedians?
No, like you can
okay,
do
what
comedy,
are you saying then? I mean, Sam's pretty funny. I would deem him as a comedian.
But he doesn't. His main career.
Really, he does those bits for comedy. He
he's
performs
funny.
a skit.
He's funny, but if you said, like, what does Sam Riegel do? Would your first thing to say would be, he's a comedian?
Yeah, but you can be defined as many things. You can be a comedian and an actor.
That's why I said they are kind of, but not really, but kind of. I feel like you're getting stuck on a point here that's not too relevant to the show.
I will kill you.
Again, now this is concerning. This is the second week in a row he said that, and if you watch,
someone comment that we're back to murder. It's just,
okay. No, I don't know if you know this.
I'll kill you with love.
We share. I don't believe you. We share a YouTube channel because we always log into the D20 multiverse. So our YouTube recommended watches are from both of us. So I've got like Penn and Teller Fool Us and Poker Stars and all this stuff. Everything that he's been watching lately is these people went missing 20 years ago and no one's ever found their bodies.
I find it absolutely fascinating. Like the last CCTV footage of a particular person who ends up murdered. Why is that so weird?
I'm going to start blinking in Morse code, okay?
Why Morse code? You openly can ask for help.
Help me, please. He's going to kill me, guys.
Anyway, let's move on.
I'm not actually going to Japan.
So, Jester communicates with her mother, and she finds out that she's performing.
I actually fell out of my chair laughing at this point when Jester still hasn't got the use of the 20 words.
Even though Taliesin is kind of counting it.
My favourite... it's just... it's so good.
It's pretty great.
Yeah.
Let's cut to that clip. We're miles off.
Sure, why not?
Okay, cut to the clip now.
I thought you already did.
No.
Oh.
So you keep on talking.
Cut
to the clip.
What are you...
I can't sending.
What are you doing?
Hey, Mom.
Who are you talking to?
I'm sort of in the water at the beach right now. We're not in the water.
Closed.
But, I was wondering if you're singing tonight or if you're singing tomorrow.
As you continue talking, the voice creeps through and goes.
So essentially, that's a really funny moment.
Yeah.
I also note this like every third episode, but Matt's scene painting, man, he is a poet and an artist at heart. Like his descriptions of these places are just wildly beautiful.
So you're saying artists can be actors too?
Oh, I can't wait till you kill me. It's going to be great.
So there you hit it first trial that's watching this film.
No one can convict you.
No one can convict me because he was up for it.
That's how murder works, I'm sure.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you kill him? Well, yeah, but he was up for it.
Mate, I'll show you the video.
Get out of my courtroom. What are you doing? I've got a parking ticket at 12. So
like it's like murder trial.
you want to break up the day.
The judge is just like...
It's like when we do a video, we do like this one, the serious one, then we go do a let's play, and then we come back and do a serious one. I imagine judges
like
do
serious
the same
one. This is deep, this is serious one here.
But it's more work. We actually have to watch 4 hours of content for this.
That's good. Don't complain.
So, they find the mother's lighthouse, which is essentially...
well, they don't find it, they see it in the distance, because they go to it later on.
Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry, I got ahead of myself.
This is where the first mention of the lighthouse, which comes important later on.
So Matt mentions that it's of the wild mother, Malura.
Again, God reference dropped.
Yep, we are pretty confident that it's going to be a deity and patron.
Centric.
Yeah,
I mean, we've got the traveller that's highly influencing the party. We've got forwards, whatever that's going on.
We have the empire that wouldn't allow worship of other deities that weren't sanctioned.
We've now got Mr. Clay and the Wild Mother.
Yep. So it looks like it's going to be. It looks like we're almost sold on this. It's a deity centric campaign.
Yeah. Just we don't know why yet.
No,
that's the thing. It's like the nuggets are there.
I honestly think
I should stop saying nuggets. Get too attached.
I think it's going to be the second calamity. For those of you who've read the Tal'Dorei campaign setting guide or know Matt's world really well, years and years ago, calamity happened. Whole bunch of gods fought and batshit went down. I reckon it could be post Divergence. Calamity 2.
Let us know what you think. What do you think the end game for this campaign is setting up to be? Are we seeing the nuggets? Are we seeing the hints to it now, or is it going to be one of those cases that we're not really going to know until the last arc, like we did in the Tal'Dorei one? Because I don't think with the Tal'Dorei one was as planned that they expected to go on as long as they did.
Yeah.
But this time, I think they know they're going to go on that long. So yeah.
So essentially, they're off to see Miriam Levore, aka the Ruby of the Sea, aka Jester's mum
at the lavish chateau.
Chateau, yes.
So I put in terms of the description of Nicodranas, I put like the kind of San Fran / Vegas of the particular region.
I can see that. I thought it was more like the second act of Diablo 2. So you've got like a sandy beach kind of thing going outside.
Can you stop promoting our stuff? It's like, I know we're doing a Let's Play on Diablo 2. You shouldn't be mentioning it.
Well, see, I'm actually doing what's called subliminal advertising. So I didn't mention the fact that we're
you're
actually
being more
doing
decisive, I'm being straight out. So you want the audience to trust who now?
I think trust has gone out the window a long time ago for people watching this.
Anyway.
So essentially that's their quest for the first major part of this episode. And they do eventually get there. We do see a lot of Zilello. It's rare that I
What are you trying to say?
Zilezzo, the people that are wandering around.
Oh, yeah. And we also see Crownsguard, which is a nice little hint, because apparently this Nicodramas is kind of like the in-between town between the Empire and the
Menagerie Coast. And in fact, some of the guards show up a bit later as well when they're actually watching Ruby of the Sea perform. They're around there as well. So they're not like enforcing law, and they're not like doing their business here.
They have the ability to, because this is what Matt said, they have the ability to enforce law. Yeah. But they typically don't really unless they absolutely have to.
Yeah. So there's basically they've got eyes. There's eyes in the Menagerie Coast. So yeah, if anything
happens,
they're not free of the Empire here.
So we go to the lavish chateau.
Yes.
And we see the performance of the Ruby of the Sea. Just lets it known that she is there to her mother. Yeah. It's a very lovely interaction. Very sweet. Very sweet.
I've been working on impersonation.
Here we go. Let's go. Strap up, people. This is going to be gold.
I love Jester because she's very sweet and she's very pretty, and I think she is my favourite.
All right, now do the impersonation.
So anyway, essentially she goes and knocks on the door.
That's very rude of you, Ollie.
I've done it before. It's fine.
That's got to be in the thumbnail.
No, please don't put that.
That's got to be the thumbnail. You put it in because every.
If you're watching this, I don't know.
If you're watching this,
I can't do fuck all really.
Yeah.
Essentially, she knocks on the door and we meet the Ruby of the Sea, and it completely destroys my whole theory.
And she's red.
Yes.
Which I thought I should have worked this out by now, but for some reason I didn't click until now. It's like, oh, that's why she was called Ruby of the Sea, because she's a red tiefling. Come on, you must have clicked before then. No. Did you honestly just click now? Oh, Ollie. Oh, Ollie.
It sounds like I just peed my pants or something. Did you just click?
Yeah, no, it's just like, I can't tell whether you're doing a bit or you're actually...
I had no idea. I actually missed the fact that she was red.
Oh, really?
I didn't hear that bit.
Yeah, she's the Ruby of the sea.
Also, my theory, on the sea, because they're at a beach town.
Yeah. It's all making sense now. It's like you just watched the episode.
Yeah, all of the universe just clicked into place. 1 second.
It all makes sense. Anyway, what are you saying?
Sorry, I need a tinfoil hat.
Hurry up.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'd never actually realised before. No, I had a theory before that her mum wasn't alive. She was dead, and someone else was sending packages on her behalf.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. You said, what was that called? A bit like Package Watch or something.
Yeah, something like that. I honestly thought that someone was messing with Jester, or the Traveller was messing with Jester, sending her packages from her mum, and her mum was dead.
But that Jester was completely legit.
Theory blown out of the water.
Anyway, so the Marty and I watched the performance of the Ruby of the Sea, and it's very well descripted, and Matt does a very, very good job of setting the scene and kind of really showing why the Ruby of the Sea is such a revered character.
Also, holy crap, liquor is expensive in this part of town. 26 gold pieces for liquor and 2 wine bottles.
I think it's just because that's like a high-end establishment.
Oh, no, of course. It's like paying for... I don't drink, so I don't know, like golden whiskey?
Absinthe?
Absinthe, yeah.
Yeah, absinthe. Well, that's not. It's actually pretty cheap over here. It's like just like high-end bottle.
But we've got a serious drinking problem here in New Zealand.
I have a serious drinking problem.
I used to, but now I don't.
I still do. I actually went for a bottle of wine before you came here.
I'm not
And
surprised.
that is completely legit. It's over there.
I can see it.
Yeah.
It's next to a bottle of maple syrup.
No, it's
What
next
were
to a
you
bottle of olive oil.
That's even more concerning.
Yeah.
Can
we move on from what we're talking about?
You've been slugging again, haven't you?
Anyway, but we discussed the Ruby of the Sea, finding a lot more detail about it, and the Ruby of the Sea meets the Mighty Nine.
Yeah, they do. The mum actually took the night off from her job as a
escort,
professional company giver. Escort.
Because they don't always have sex with their
No, it's
their
true. That's true.
That's what escorts are.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I just learned that, and I had no idea before about all those things.
Julia!
So essentially, the mum's taking the night off so that she can meet the friends and everything. And the interactions are amazing. I've never seen Jester so happy and excited as she was when she was talking to her mum and kind of saying, these are the adventures that we went on, and they were really fun, and we had a lot of good times.
And her interaction with all the Mighty Nine characters is very sweet and very kind of... It feels like she is the mother figure that all of them kind of like really respect, and it's really good.
They also press her for a bit of information regarding the letter, which is one of the quests that they're kind of following, and don't get too much from her.
Other than the fact that she will help.
Yeah.
So she will kind of send out her own kind of like, I will try and put some feelers out there.
And Matt actually kind of went, at one point, he said something along the lines of, I can't help you, but there might be some people around that do.
Which is a way of saying like, no, can't help. I can't help you here. However, then we get a quest.
Yeah, we do. So that apparently one of the clients of the Ruby of the Sea has been rather possessive, and a little bit possessive.
Which actually does happen. I've actually this is all dead serious. I'm not taking the piss here.
Okay.
I actually have met a few escorts. Not paid, just socially, just talking to them. And it turns out that's a very common occurrence for them.
Yeah.
And it's very, very difficult.
Yeah.
Because when people start to get obsessive about something, they like to take it up a little extremely.
Essentially, they get attached. And they don't like the fact that this person, is with other people. So yeah, it is a real thing. I think they're tackling on the issue.
Yeah, it's actually a really... in New Zealand, I don't know if you know this, prostitution is legal.
Yes.
So it's never like ashamed or looked down upon.
Yeah.
I mean, some circles probably still is, but most of the time it's accepted over here. So these issues are coming up more and more because people can now openly talk about it.
Yeah, and some people, don't get why we have prostitution legal here in New Zealand. But in fact, it is illegal to be a pimp. That line of work is illegal. But the prostitutes can work for organisations and that kind of thing.
And businesses. So isn't that like the same thing?
Kind of. You can't like own a prostitute and take a cut of her money unless it's an establishment that's registered, that kind of thing.
So you're not a pimp unless you're with the law.
Yeah.
That's the way of doing it.
Essentially, the main diffusion here is that if something bad happens to a prostitute in New Zealand, they get attacked or whatever, they can go to the cops, whereas in America they can't because they're working...
Well, in some areas. I know prostitution is legal in Nevada, but just not in Las Vegas. It's a weird law.
We kind of have it here so that they are a bit more protected. We know what's going to happen regardless, but we're trying to protect people.
And plus it can be taxed and girls can get healthcare.
Yeah, exactly. They can all
because in New Zealand, it's free healthcare, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, let's go to the critical role. So the client's name, I put Dion Algar?
Diamond Algar.
That's it.
So essentially, he is he's connected in a way that he apparently I can't remember exactly what she said, but
a servant under the city that was dropped,
and his friends enforced the law.
Yeah, so it's underground.
Yeah.
Ford was very interested when the line servant under the city could imply some kind of deity or something dark. But we got basically 2 leads, and basically this was a nice way of the DM saying, hey, these are your 2 options of what you can do, and where you can...
This is where to start.
Basically,
So essentially, Knot has the idea, what if we tell this guy that you have crabs, and then he won't want to sleep with you? And she's like, well, that's a great suggestion, but that would also kind of ruin my entire business. It's like, okay, maybe not. Jester goes, what if we make Diamond fall in love with someone else? And Bo wants to beat the crap out of him. So we kind of had a few different ideas.
Yeah, a few ideas how to handle the situation, but I think the first case is finding him.
Yeah.
So we basically got the old woman and the light... Gladys, who was the big lightkeeper that we mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
And we also got the Wolfmaster.
Yeah.
So the party eventually divides up, but before that we get a huge reveal.
And pretty much all of Reddit was talking about this moment.
So is this where your crazy Reddit theory comes from?
I do believe it is.
Okay, so but let's reveal what it is. So, it is implied more, like, I would say about 80-90% confirmed that the gentleman is Jester's father. But that doesn't make sense, because if you mix red and blue, you don't get blue. You get green.
I'd also like to point out, because there was a bit of confusion,
I think.
people thought a genasi had cold resistance, which if the gentleman is Jester's father, the gentleman being in a genasi, that explains the cold resistance. I looked into it, it's actually acid resistance that a genasi has. So the cold resistance comes from somewhere else, seemingly. But this leads to the crazy Reddit theory of the week. And this is originally posted by Copy Paste Puke from Team Caleb.
And it will be on the screen if Ollie sent it to me. Won't if he didn't.
Oh, I forgot to do it.
No, you did. But let's hopefully you do it before I finish editing this episode.
So the gentleman had to protect the sea, or do the sea's bidding, and that's why he left, ... And he has the secret little eye emblem that Ford ingested. I'm thinking, gentleman is intricately weaved into the plot with Ford's patron, possibly giving Ford a reason to have strong feelings about Jester's dad. Then there's a comment from Cacophonous Kazoo. My god, if Jester's dad was responsible for killing Ford's father figure, then shit is going to get real, especially if Ford feels compelled to avenge him. And then Mr. Heller responds, I need Ford and Jester to become an item before this plays out to double down on the drama.
How's that crazy, though? That seems like a legit theory.
Yeah. I think you've been spending too much time around the credit.
No, that sounds legit.
But yeah, I actually thought it was just interesting enough to mention.
So it's stopped being crazy.
It's just a Reddit.
Just Reddit theory now.
This is just my way of getting Reddit into the show.
Okay. Because Reddit needs the plug.
Yeah, Reddit's a struggling startup company.
Oh, okay.
And if we humble, great YouTubers can help them.
So it was it started off being a bit vague whether this connection, you could see the excitement in the faces of the players when this reveal happened.
Bo literally jumps on her chair.
All were jumping on their chair. They're all getting really crazy. But I guess it makes sense.
Yeah.
But the fact of the dots weren't connected before, which I understand why it wasn't, because there was no indication, no kind of hint other than the fact they were the same colour, and you can't just assume people are the same colour they're related, because then Not and Ford would be related.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
Now, essentially, there's a lot of discussion around this because it wasn't confirmed 100%. But Jester and
heavily implied, I would say, is the best way to describe it.
So some of the proof that we have is the fact that Jester and Jester's mum, Ruby of the Sea, when they drew a picture of the gentleman, they looked kind of similar.
Yeah.
Someone did point out that 5 of the Mighty 9 can use disguise self of some kind. One of them could have turned into the gentleman and been like, "Is this?" That's
a very good point. They could have just done that.
But the party didn't remember this.
Yeah. Which is one of the joys of D&D. You can't always be on top of it.
Absolutely.
And it's easier to think of things in hindsight than in the moment.
Now, because it wasn't 100% confirmed at this point, some people still...
I would say 80.
I would say 90.
90?
Yeah.
90.
Yeah.
All right.
But Matt, at the end of the game, does say that was a later game reveal that the right questions brought forward as a possibility. So it does sound like he was planning. He was sitting on that bit of information.
Yeah.
They just got to it before he had intended.
I would say Matt just confirmed it then.
That's the quote that he said at the end.
That's Matt confirming that reveal is true.
Yeah.
Because why would you say that particular phrase at the end of it?
That was a later game reveal.
If it wasn't a misdirect.
I know, that's what I think.
Very interesting. Tell us what you think. It's pretty certain, but tell us what you think about that.
This is actually why my MVP of this episode isn't Jester, it's Matt.
Well, I think... Oh, okay.
Because Matt was the one that came up with that twist.
I think it was Jester, because they asked the right questions that would never happened.
Because I can see what you mean when you say that it was Jester.
Don't ruin this.
But I had to go with Matt, because that was just beautiful DMing.
I'm going to go with Jester, because this reveal would have never happened if Jester didn't ask the right questions.
I knew that's what would happen. We'd also find out...
What was happening?
That you would say Jester and I would say Matt.
Oh.
That's why I mentioned it at the start.
Well, you didn't say that out loud, so no proof.
Doesn't count.
Doesn't count.
We also find Jester's name, the gentleman's name, if Jester's father, is Babanon.
Now, the big question I have about this whole situation is why is the gentleman ashamed or trying to hide?
Well,
because does the gentleman know Jester exists as his daughter?
Yeah.
And two, why doesn't one wants to hide that association from being connected to the Ruby of the Sea.
Yeah.
But why did he leave in the first place?
No, I think the reason that he doesn't want people to know about him and the Ruby of the Sea is because Ruby of the Sea knows his real name and his real identity is Babanon, as we found out. As far as why he left, we don't know. Yeah.
No. It'd be interesting. Why he's trying to still hide that.
I'd also like to point out that Liam loses his mind at this whole thing and he just flips out. He's so fucking surprised.
That's good.
It's great.
So they rest up after that huge reveal and just it takes time to process all this information. But they decide to split up into two teams.
Yes.
So for them both, they go to the Wharf Master for information. That's their kind of path. And Jester, Not, and Caleb and Clay all go to the Lighthouse.
To meet Gladys.
Yes.
So Bo and Ford essentially just pay their way past a couple of guards. Easiest way to get through somewhere is just throw a bit of gold at it. And Ford asks about Diamond Algar, and we find he works on this, I knew I was going to stop up, Sluice? Slifey?
I was hoping you would say it.
Sluice, I think it is. Sluice weave.
I put Sluice.
I put like juice, but with an S and an L.
And apparently it's a location that they need a boat to get to.
Yes, correct.
So like an island? I'm guessing it's an island, or
yeah, it'll be like an off-coastal kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then Clay manages to persuade his way into the lighthouse, mentioning his deity. His deity, which is the Wild Mother.
So we actually get huge reveals about Clay. So he's fighting the temple that will guard him is fighting off an evil from the north.
Yeah.
Very vague of what this evil is.
Yeah.
All it is knowing that the Wild Mother has some kind of tie to it.
Yeah.
That's helping them protect him.
As soon as I found this out, I found that Talison's character, Clay, is tied into Melora. I went and did some research on Melora. So, essentially, goddess of the wilderness and the sea. Cool. Watches over nature, good harvest, kind of like Pelor in a way. Grants protection from washing away in storms. Holy crap, that's Ford right there.
Yeah.
Guides passage of ships and protects smaller folk. So we've got we've got Ford there, guiding the passage of ships, and we've got protect smaller folk with Not. So I feel like, sorry, my voice is going.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So I feel like Wild Mother, might actually have ties to quite a few of the Mighty Nine.
Yeah, it'd be interesting, Wild Mother. I mean, we haven't heard much of Wild Mother throughout this campaign.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we've heard of them, but not into this much detail.
So, in Silra, there is, in the district of Vasselheim, known as Berthheart, that whole place is dedicated to the Wild Mother. Then in Wildemount, worship of the Wild Mother is banned in the Daedalian Empire, except for in Sevelia Wood, near Shady Creek Run. That's where Clay and his family tended the graveyard, and the graveyard was a magically warded sanctum that contained the graves of people who had been touched by the Wild Mother.
Interesting.
So there's a few places.
So there would have been a reason why Matt said that the Wild Mother's banned.
Yeah.
So I think all those banned deities are going to come in. I think it's starting to hint towards not. This isn't going to be about the ones that are not banned, because there'll be a reason why those are banned now.
Yeah. And
we're starting to realise they're all probably connected to the characters in one way or another now.
I think so. Yeah. So again, more deity stuff going on. They ask the Melora about Diamond and don't get too many don't get much information there.
We do find out the Olga guy, he's the manager of the sleuth.
Yeah.
So we do find out that little nugget that he's actually a high-end kind of manager.
Yep.
Character. So he's going to be quite tricky to find or get to.
Mostly Jester just wants the spyglass that this lady uses from her lighthouse and tries to steal it and fails and then tries to use invoke duplicity.
Jester was kind of being a dick. I didn't realise that. I didn't like that at all.
I think she was just curious.
Maybe, but I feel like it was a real dick move. Like, I get the comedy aspect of it.
Yeah.
But from a character point of view, it's kind of a dick move. But considering like how connected Mr. Clay was to Wild Mother and what this lighthouse represents, and what does she want to do? Kind of taint it.
Yeah. No, I can see that. I can see that. Bo and Ford, however, when they go back to the meeting place, find the Major's Tower, which seemingly they'd not noticed before. Obviously, there's some kind of arcane protection.
And it doesn't have a door.
Or windows at all. It has a couple of balconies. And Bo's like, all right, give me a boost. So Ford launches her up and she falls on her ass and goes to take damage but doesn't because of slow fall, which is a monk ability.
Yeah, that was never going to work. I mean, they're pretty much just killing time.
Do you know that the whole goldfish thing? I'm pretty sure that's why Marisha played a monk, so she could have slow fall this time.
No, I mean, the whole goldfish thing. The reason why she died is because she turned into a goldfish. She could have turned into any animal, a bird, I don't know, a pelican.
There are a lot of options.
There's a lot of options, and it wasn't the slow fall that killed her. It was the goldfish choice.
That's great.
Anyway, so the team kind of meet all back up and exchange that information, which turns out they got exactly the same information from both areas, which I don't think Matt expected them to split up. I kind of thought he would have. I think he thought they were only going to go to one of them.
Yeah.
And he was going to reveal the information regardless of which one they went to. It just turns out they did both.
Yeah, so he kind of revealed it at both places. They see the Major's Tower. They can't figure out how to get in. Caleb kind of goes, look, we focus on what we're doing now. Yeah. We'll come back for it.
So they decide to go to the Wayfair Cove.
Yes.
After figuring out where was the best place to go to find this ride and find their passage to get this location. And then they see a turtle.
Turtles!
Now, for those that are unaware, that this turtle was actually designed by the community.
And Fireside, no less.
So he's a bard, the eye patch, all of that, all the description of that character, tattoos and everything, that was from the community. So
you guys created that.
And that's why the players were very giddy.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't the fact it was a turtle, even though it's my best race ever. It was the fact that this was an NPC created by you guys, the credits out there.
Quite a while ago, and now we finally see it.
Yeah.
Reddit was also very, very excited.
It wasn't quite a while. It was only a couple of weeks.
Oh, okay, that's quite a while in my world.
Oh, right.
Yeah. You drink as much caffeine as I do? Like a second takes at least a year.
It's your own fault.
I like caffeine. So that's essentially where the episode ends, with a big, oh god, here it comes, next episode.
And the Black Dog's there at the end too.
Yeah. Nugget.
Yeah.
So that's the episode.
Not mentioning Nugget.
I think we have to both agree that is one of the finest Mighty 9 episodes we've had.
I'm more of a lore buff than a combat buff when it comes to D&D, and I found that awesome. I found that reveal about Gentleman, that definitely blindsided me, even though it's kind of obvious when you're looking at hindsight.
So well.
It just worked.
Yeah.
And then with Mr. Clay's reveal about how deeply connected to the Wild Mother he actually is, leads me to think that's going to play a huge aspect going forward too.
And I finally see now that we're starting to get the lights just turning on in different places at different times, but the kind of...
It's got a light switch.
Yeah, that kind of light is now spreading, and we're seeing connections behind the DM screen into the web, a little bit of Matt's wonderful story, and I feel like it's finally unraveling.
Or maybe not.
It could not be.
It could be just another chapter in the story.
This is just conjecture, and we're just insane. And we're
pretty much. I mean, we've done 33 of these. Can you imagine that we've done 33 of this campaign? It's crazy when you think about that.
It's good fun, though.
Yeah, it's good.
And we get to communicate with you wonderful critters out there all around the world.
And upon that communication, we read out comments every week about comments and stuff that you've mentioned.
From the last video. So I'll go first because I've got two of them. So this is from Daz Un. Hey Daz.
Hey Daz. Oh, he's one of our lovely Patreons too. So thanks, Daz.
You're one of my favourite people in the world.
He says that to everybody.
Have a Red Bull.
You know, if you say it to everyone, it doesn't make it special anymore.
But it makes people feel special, so that's all that matters.
Not really, because if you say it to everybody...
But everyone doesn't know that I'm saying it to
But because you love everyone, so when you say it to Julia, it's just like, by this point, she's just like, oh, you say it to everybody.
That's why I just say, I would wear your skin when you fall.
Well, I don't say that on camera, because that would be incriminating. So, Daz says, I think Caleb... Oh, so he was talking about how they took gems in the last episode.
Right.
I think Caleb saying, we are taking the gems was more... Let's take them and go, not sit around and debate. I felt more than likely they would have taken them anyway, or not would have stolen them. Brackets, shiny things. Regardless, if they waited around too long debating, it may have got caught. Yeah. So it wasn't. Basically, we're saying it's not intended to be an evil thing or a mean thing. Yeah. Like we kind of debated that whether that was the right thing to do or not. It was more of a we should just take this and go because we're wasting time.
I suppose that makes sense because some people are like you can't just decide that when you're conversing, and it kind of seemed like he was a bit railroadish, but yeah, it could just be that he was actually more concerned.
Yeah, exactly.
That hanging around is going to be bad for all.
Yeah, which I agree with. I completely agree with it, and I think he makes a very valid point.
I can see that. My comment that I wanted to read is from Malice Helen Swift, who's been a viewer for a while. And we love him. You're awesome. You're the best person in the world.
Sorry, I just had to reopen the comment because I closed it. Anyway, keep going. Ignore that.
I heard my own voice coming out of my head and weird. From over there. That was weird. You mentioned the pets being like spirit animals for the characters. So what type of D&D spirit creature best suits your own personality? I'd be an owlbear, loyal but often grumpy, and perpetually rummaging for snacks.
Alright, so what would your spirit animal for D&D be?
That's a very good question. I would have to say...
I like it. You thought it. You've really known this question you're about to read out.
Yeah.
You've thought about it, and now you still don't have a decision.
It's good, right?
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's brilliant content of people just sitting in front of the camera thinking. God, Ollie, hurry up.
I would be a blink dog.
Fuck you. I was going to be a blink dog, man, because I want to be a blink dog so I can get out of social situations, which I hate. That's what I don't like hugging. I don't like having long conversations with people. I just am a very socially awkward person and I'm just an introvert. Even though I put this out for thousands of people, but I've never met someone in person that's watched this, so
and I would just like to be Jester's favourite because she is beautiful and I think she's great.
I can't pick a blink. I'm Beholder, so I can kill you. my spirit animal is Beholder because I'm vengeful.
So you can kill a blink dog. I'll just blink out of the way of your death ray, man.
Please, do you honestly think a blink dog could take on a Beholder?
Okay, so Death Ray may do 10 d10 of necrotic damage, but I could just blink to another plane of existence.
You can't, that's not how blink dogs work.
Deck save.
Anyway, he dies.
So thank you, Malice, for that comment, because it made me smile.
Anyway, Ollie's going to stall for time while I bring up my comment again.
So I'd just like to point out that a wonderful play is playing here in Wellington, New Zealand, in the end of October called The Memory Plays, which is a wonderful project that some wonderful writers have put together.
It's because you're in it, You're writing one of them, aren't you?
I wrote it, yeah.
Yeah, so it's good to not be biased.
If you want me to fill time, you can't simultaneously mock me for what I choose to fill time with. Read your comment.
Why not?
Because that's not how it works.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I just did it, so that's really how it works.
Comment down below if that's how it works.
So this is from Cozy. You'll see it on the screen.
Your name is Shashalak.
You read it. That name right there.
Oh, Skulk.
Yeah, there we go. Anyway, Watchmaster Bryce uses the pronouns they/them.
Oh, cool.
And Matt has made an effort to not use he/him. She/her, just FYI, just like Jamon. Yeah, we have a bad habit of doing that, and we don't mean it intentionally or malice or anything like that. We've got friends that do go by neutral pronouns in real life. Yeah. I actually work with someone personally right across my desk.
Yeah.
Someone that does it, and I fall under that kind of banner all the time. Yeah. So we don't mean any offence by it, and we will try our best. But sometimes, like Bryce, I always think Bryce is a male name, so I always instinctively, subconsciously always do that, but I don't intend to mean any offence by it.
Dave and I are both allies of the community. We believe that love is love and love wins and all that.
I treat everyone with an equal amount of hate.
Yeah, and sarcasm, it's true.
Yes.
I can attest to that.
Well, because remember when we did our D&D game?
Yeah.
We had people from
all
over the show. Yeah. I treated them exactly the same with contempt and annoyance.
And a small level of malice and destruction
Pretty
in
much,
my heart.
yeah.
But in a loving way.
Yeah. In a loving way.
So, those are the comments. Thank you guys for leaving them.
Make sure you leave them down below. Actually, for these ones, we're about slack on replying. I have to get them to reply in those, but we do try and reply to every comment.
Yeah.
And let us know what you thought of this episode, what you think of the theories going forward. We are starting to ramp up once this one comes back from his trip. We're going to be doing doing the second podcast episode of NPCs, which we kind of just take all the longer comments we can't feature on this video and break them down and have a big discussion, a good hour or 2 hours of just talking about theories of it. So if you do have a theory like that, start sending them to d20multiverse@gmail.com. So we can read them on that podcast, or leave it in a comment below and we'll try and filter through and grab your comment.
And we really do enjoy when we've got free moments just going through the comments and replying to you guys, because one of the great things about the fact that we have this show is that we get to talk about our favourite thing, Dungeons and Dragons, with people from all around the world. We find that fascinating, so come at us and put something down.
No. Ninja Turtles is my favourite thing.
Yeah.
But this is like second.
Okay. Well, my favourite thing is caffeine.
I like my mum too.
Your mum's
so
pretty good.
Third?
Actually, yeah, now that I put your mum on the list,
it'll
actually be your mum, Red Bull.
Oh, no, sorry, your sister's third.
So, yeah, so murder.
So,
yeah, so
murder
like, say it again.
Yeah.
And I'll
Ninja Turtles, my
Ninja
mum,
Turtles,
your
sister.
sister.
Yeah, I'll burn your house down. Yeah, cool. Got it? Yeah.
Well, don't you want to be my brother-in-law? Don't you? That wouldn't be that sweet.
Thank you for watching NPCs of Wildemount, the last episode before Dave goes missing. No, really. Thank you for joining us here.
And make sure you subscribe to the channel.
Do that.
Do all the lovely stuff, because every time we get a new guy following us, it just makes us say, oh, guy, girl,
I thought you were going to say every time someone doesn't subscribe, a fairy dies. Or something like Hook.
Why would I say that? It's very negative.
Every time someone doesn't believe, what is it? Every time someone says, I don't believe in fairies, a fairy dies.
That should have ended 5 minutes ago. Bye.
Bye. Oh, more Red Bull.
So, Ollie, you're leaving soon. And I think it's time for us to say hello to your replacement again.
Oh, for
Hello, Ollie! Hello, Ollie!
His
voice is slightly changed because I can't remember what voice I used before. I think it was this one.
You know, I can lovelily remember a time when we weren't doing this podcast show, and
well, it's not a podcast. It's a web show.
It was
so you probably don't remember us not doing. Oh, we actually do a podcast. The D20 After Hours. We're releasing for 2 weeks.
You can't advertise during a bit.
Yes, I can.
They're going to confuse the viewers. We either make fun of each other.
Ollie.
There we go.
I'm your replacement. Here, this is you.
Sorry. Sorry. I wasn't prepared for the duh. I wasn't prepared for